Assalamu alaikum. What if the woman you are thinking about right now is not the answer to your future, but an escape from your pain? Most divorced Muslim men don't get into trouble because they fall in love. They get into trouble because they mistake loneliness for love. And that's how good men walk into the same fire twice. And I'm speaking as someone who went through divorce, lost parts of his identity, questioned himself, and came out stronger on the other side. My mission is simple: to help Muslim men rebuild after divorce with structure, emotional control, discipline, faith, and self-respect. Not because life becomes easy, but because a man who rebuilds properly becomes dangerous to his own weaknesses. By the end of this video, you will know how to tell whether you are genuinely interested in a woman or simply trying to escape the pain of being alone. And more importantly, you will learn the one test that exposed my own blind spots after divorce. Stay with me because this lesson alone can save you years of emotional regret. Let me share you about my story. After my divorce, there was a period where silence became loud. The house was quieter, routines were different. The future I thought disappeared. And like many men, I told myself I was doing okay. Yeah, I was training in the gym, working, praying, building my own future, all that. Moving forward, basically. Well, at least that's what I thought. Then I met several women. Some were kind, attractive, gave me attention, and something interesting happened. Every time a woman showed interest, my mood improved. Every time communication slowed down, I felt disappointed. Not devastated, but disappointed. And that was the clue, because I started asking myself a difficult question. Was I interested in this woman, or was I interested in escaping loneliness? There's a huge difference, because most men never stop long enough to ask that question. They feel good, then they call it love. They feel safe, then they call it compatibility. They feel desire, then they call it destiny. But feelings can lie, especially when you're hungry. Look, a starving man will think a stale bread with mold is a luxury meal. An emotionally starving man can think attention is love. But both are dangerous because loneliness is clever. It doesn't announce itself, but it disguises itself. It will whisper the following: she's different. Don't lose her. You deserve this. You suffered enough, bro. And before you know it, you are imagining a future with a woman you barely know. You are emotionally invested before you have properly assessed character. You are protecting the fantasy inside your head instead of evaluating reality. And that's exactly how many men end up ignoring red flags. I remember catching myself doing something that changed everything. I asked if I was already peaceful, already fulfilled, already emotionally stable, would I still choose this woman? That question sounds easy, and it's not. It hit me hard because suddenly the focus shifted from what she gave me to who she actually was. And that's the lesson I want to give you today. The strongest screening, filtering after divorce is not, do I love her? It should be, can I walk away if this is not right? Because if you cannot walk away, you're not choosing. I'm not going to apologize. I think you are just clinging. A man who can walk away sees clearly. One who cannot usually negotiates with reality. He will explain red flags, he will ignore incompatibilities, and he will accept behavior he normally wouldn't tolerate previously. No, not because she's exceptional, but because he's terrified of returning to loneliness. And loneliness is a powerful weapon. It makes weak deals sound reasonable. I learned that if losing a woman feels more painful than choosing the wrong woman, your judgment is already compromised. I say that again. If losing a woman feels more painful than choosing the wrong woman, your judgment is messed up. If losing her scares you more than making a bad decision, then slow down. You are emotionally attached to relief, not necessarily attached to her. That's when I realized something. The goal after divorce is not finding a woman as quickly as possible. Instead, it should be becoming a man who can choose from clarity. A man who desires companionship but does not need it to feel complete. A man who wants love but refuses to betray his standards, high standards for it. Be a man who appreciates feminine, her warmth, but doesn't surrender his leadership because of it. That is strength. Not emotional numbness, pretending you don't care, or not becoming cynical. Strength is being able to say, I would love companionship, marriage, a good woman in my life. But I refuse to abandon my values simply because I feel lonely. If you can do that, my hat's off to you, because that is masculine self-respect, emotional maturity, and that is leadership. So brother, before pursuing any women seriously, ask yourself one question. Am I choosing her, or am I trying to escape myself? Because your answer at that moment will reveal anything. If this message resonated with you, I'm going to invite you to download the Muslim Man Rebuild Playbook. It's the guide I wish I had, during my own rebuilding journey after divorce. Inside, you will find the principles that help me rebuild confidence, discipline, emotional strength, purpose, and direction. And if you personally like help creating your own roadmap on how to rebuild after divorce, apply for a private strategy call with me. Yeah. In that call, we're going to identify where you are, what's holding you back, and what's your next step should be. Remember this. I'm going to give you the 4 don'ts. Ready? Don't rush because you're lonely. Don't harden because you've been hurt. Don't become naive because she's beautiful. And don't become paranoid because your past was painful. Walk the middle path. Soft heart, sharp eyes with strong boundaries, and clean intentions. Assalamu alaikum.